How's it going, everyone? Can everyone hear me? Let me know if you guys can see my screen, hear me, etc. Just a good mic check would be appreciated. My OBS, I had to reset my OBS settings for some reason. You should be able to see this. My stream's starting soon. I haven't shared my chart yet. Because I'm logging in. Okay, perfect. Just finishing up my oatmeal here. Busy morning so far. We'll get started here now in a moment. Just let me diesel this oatmeal. Yo, good morning, guys. All right, let me get my chart up at least so you guys can. So you guys can at least see what's going on. Morning, Joy. I'm also gonna slap you guys with a very nice disclaimer. I'm not gonna forget anymore. Yeah. I am incredibly excited to be here today. Let me just put this bowl away one sec. What's for breakfast? Some packaged oatmeal, protein powder, banana, blueberries. Just a quick breakfast. I know it's not full screen, but I kind of fuck with this layout of just having the background around it. I know it's obviously like kind of useless because I'm not utilizing full screen real estate, but it kind of looks clean. I like this for screenshotting. Yeah, just like something like just a little taller too. Something like that. Like that actually looks kind of gas, not gonna lie. Gonna make some coffee and settle in for some ASMR. Yes, sir. I got mine right here. Am I streaming 720p for a reason? I shouldn't be. Let me look. OCD. How do I center it? Okay, are you guys actually seeing it in 720p? How can I fix that without ending the stream? Fuck. Because I think in my video settings, it says 1280, 720. Like the base resolution is 1920 by 1080. It's the only option I have to end the stream. I guess I could. I guess it doesn't matter, does it? I can just end it and then restart one real quick, and then just delete this recording. I didn't scale my res. I swear I told you guys that I had to reset my settings, and this was one thing that must have gotten reset. It looks fine. Okay, if it looks fine, I'm leaving it. Well, I'll tell you guys what. I'll tell you what. It looks good on my end. So you guys can suck an egg. as long as it as long as it looks okay, then we will continue. Perfect. It's gonna bother me though. Tenny, you're the OCD man. Does this bother you? If it's like this, or should I change it or keep it? Okay, cool. All right, the man has spoken. Anyone that bitches, you can go watch Patrick Wayland. Okay, what's going on? Oh, I am a bot. I fat fingered that one. There we go. Pardon me. Okay. What are we seeing right now? Right? I already know we have SMT at these London highs with the S. 9 a.m. open. I swear to God. If I jump to the lower time frame and there's already something in my lap, I'm gonna just feel rushed. Okay, SMT at the London high with ES. We also have consecutive candle SMT with the previous hourly high with ES. Looking at the lower time frame though, I don't see nothing unless we get below here. So right now we're kind of sitting and waiting. I'm gonna go ahead and say that that would be valid in my opinion. Yeah, is that 9 a.m. open here? Okay. You want to see NQ run that London high as well? Yeah, it's looking pretty close, isn't it? And then in terms of high time from SMT, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and just change that to 1 hour only. This is why I need to start my streams at 9 and not 9:15 because I need time to set up. ES is having trouble getting up above these highs. We've had SMT at these highs for a while. For quite a while. These are the all-time highs that they swept. So ES looks dangerously close to those all-time highs anyway, so I don't even know if we're gonna get all-time high SMT. Like it's bullish right now, guys. Let's make no mistake here. It's bullish right now. I just don't have anything right now. So personally, for looking long, we have SMT with YM at the previous daily low here. Now that is definitely something to keep in mind. It's with YM. So it is not with an asset that is as correlated as NQ is with ES, but it's still valid and we have seen upside as a result. So let's break it down a little further, okay? Right. London session, we had some SMT at these highs. It would have been with the 2 a.m. highs with ES. Or, yeah, 2 a.m. highs with ES. Would have seen a nice run lower. Then we see SMT at the previous daily low with YM at 5 a.m., resulting in this move higher here. Now, I'm going to mark out this London high because it is probably toast. Longs from 815. Yeah, I've seen a couple people take longs from 815. If you took them, great, but I honestly think that's a gamble. I think the only way you could have been long from here, I've already said this today to someone. If you were going to be long and be in participation of this move here higher into London high, you would have had to be in early, in my opinion, to actually get a high probability entry. You could have entered at 5 or you could have entered at 7. There was no clear cut new setup that formed at this 815 low. Unless you don't utilize SMT, which I think if you don't use SMT in your trading, I think you're at a severe disadvantage. So that's my opinion, though. So quite frankly, if you don't agree, that's fine. I don't really care. But the only way I think you could have remained in this move is if you had your stop. If you just held your stop at the same spot. Like you had two clean breakers. You could have entered off 5, entering off of this breaker. This little series of up close candles here. And then you can see how we just kept reutilizing. We formed a new breaker inside of that breaker. Could have used this one. And then you would have just had your stop at this low or this low, depending on which breaker you got into. What's my daily routine? Wake up and be deadly. No, it varies, man. Every day is different. I work a job that every day is just wildly different. Some of the constants are I like to wake up and journal. I like to meditate. I like to eat good. I like to move my body via running and weightlifting. And I enjoy spending time on the charts and with loved ones. Why is stream quality only 720p? Because I fucked up my settings and I'm not ending the stream and resetting them. So everyone I've talked to has said that the quality is still fine. I do have Discord, but I'm not giving out I don't really accept friend requests on Discord. There's plenty of ways you guys can reach me. Twitter would probably be the best way. FYI, that oatmeal ain't good. Learn about that glyphosate. Okay, Gary Brecka. I just ran 5 miles this morning. My body needs fuel, so I'm not really concerned about glyphosates. $9.15 closure. Failed to close above that high. We have closed below this 9 a.m. open. There's just something about me something about today just tells me to wait till 9:30. But I mean, if we do get this breaker, it is like it's quite valid. Actually, this low would be confirming the breaker. Yeah, there's SMT at this London high. Like it looks good. We're just so close to it that like I have a hard time believing that if this tells me that this high, the fact that we're so close to London high, and if we form this short here, it tells me that it's likely going to be a retracement to then target later. This looks like an engineered high that's going to be taken at a later point in time. Oh, it happens though all the time. Like I will take this short. Like I'm not afraid of it. I just have to know what is likely to be, the result of it. And that's going to be that I'm likely looking for this to be a retracement, or we go and target these lows and form some SMT at them, which will be the 5 a.m. lows. It's pre-market. Holy fuck, there's no volume. I'm good on that. I'm good on that. I'll wait. I'm gonna wait for some volume to get in here because this is just. I was like 10-point stop. Like what? No thanks. I'll let it go without me. I'm gonna wait till open probably. See if we can get a little bit of an uptick in volatility. Because this is slow. Real slow. Do I only enter if there's SMT? Yeah. I don't trade without SMT. Well, gee, I got your screenshot. That doesn't look bad at all. The resolution. I will definitely have to change the res though. Can I look at XAG USD? I am not doing free charts today. Sorry. I'm here to trade what I trade, and that's it. I'm not this. It's not that kind of stream, boss. Sorry. I don't think you'd want my analysis on silver anyway. How often do I stream in the lab? Varies. This week, I think I'm doing twice this week. Sometimes it's 3, sometimes it's 4. Did you say that the 8:15 trade was a gamble because there was no SMT? Isn't the 7 o'clock 8 a.m. candle valid SMT? I see what you mean, but it's kind of subjective. I'd rather it be at the actual low, not an internal wick like this. Like, that's just not high probability to me. I don't really consider that a form of SMT. Yes, ES took 7 a.m. low, NQ failed, but like the low for me to actually be in, willing to engage is going to be at the actual swing low. So your SMT is here. Right? And then the confirmation of said SMT would be closing above this breaker, right? This wick. That would be your trigger for confirmation. But for me, there's no 8:30 news, so I rarely trade pre-market if there is no 8:30 news, and the SMT is not my highest probability SMT, so it's easy for me to fade. But hey, you're free to. I just think it's kind of a, I just think it's kind of a lower probability setup. Hence why I said it's a gamble. Anything that's not a high probability setup to me just seems like a gamble. So for high probability, we need high time from SMT and lower time from SMT? No, just high time frame. If you have high time from SMT, you have low time from SMT by default. Like this is hourly SMT. Like you'll see this on the 1 minute. This is, people will say, oh, 1 minute SMT. No, it's hourly SMT, right? You see what I'm saying? You have it by default. I will tell you though, if you have two forms of SMT, like we do with these highs right now, for example, we have SMT at this London high, and we also have SMT at the previous hourly high. That is two types of SMT, that's double SMT, which thus increases the probabilities for sure. But high time from SMT is really all you need. I prefer 15-minute and higher. So I'm choosing to wait because volatility is just so low, and I don't really want to be caught in a low volume move prior to the open. So I'm going to wait, but I do think that this can work out. I would just kind of utilize like this series of wicks in here as your like technically where you'd want to see price reject from to go lower. But in terms of, you know, breaker, you could probably just use like your lowest down close candle or your lowest beefy one, which is probably going to be, I'd probably use like this guy, or you could use this little guy here too. But there's a bunch of them in here. But it looks clean. 9 a.m. low, or 9 a.m. open, high, low, close. ES is dumping. I'm honestly more interested in seeing some SMT form at these lows to then get long. I'd like to see NQ kind of get a little lower here, see a buy model form, and then target these relative equal highs here. That would be like best case. Yeah, I'm just starting to get. I'm starting to look at CL at oil, but I don't have. I don't really trade it. I'm just kind of getting used to it because I do want to start implementing other asset classes into my trading. Um, for CL, the SMT, the correlated asset that I'll use for SMT is going to be UK oil. It's got the highest correlation percentage, I guess. I've really been enjoying doing these streams. This is only my third one, but we've got one tomorrow as well. They have been really fun, actually. And I got some permission to do some giveaways in the future. I'm not going to do them right now because the channel is still young. But in the future, I will be doing some giveaways. So, and good giveaways too, not just like, oh, I'm going to give you a 10K prop firm evaluation. Like, they'll be better than that. I'm going to work with some really good companies to get really good giveaways. We're starting to see an uptick in volume here. This move, 100% clean. Made a decision to wait, which I still stand by. I can tell. I already know that there's a few people that I know that are short off of this for sure, and they're eating. But want to see 2.5 kind of get delivered to. That would be kind of my area. And then if we can form some S&T at these local lows down here, that'd be swell. Easy fade for you, Jay. What took you, or what kind of, led you away from taking it? For sure, engineered buy side. Yeah, it looks nice. I don't like to speak in absolutes, but it does look very, very good. If we can see some SMT form at some, good lows, some like logical lows, like 5 a.m. low would be sweet. We're going to form SMT at these lows right now with ES pretty soon. Definitely a retracement. Yeah. Be careful speaking in absolutes, guys, really. Just let price come to a logical area, and if it forms a setup, take it. Don't try to act like you have a crystal ball and say that this is for sure a retracement to go higher. We have reason to believe that it is a potential future setup. But until I see candles that are designed to go higher get formed, this is bearish. Yeah. People get in a lot of trouble monetarily by speaking in absolutes. The logic for this short was great. Oh, wow. Yeah, see, now we're starting to see upticks in volume. ES is probably going to be going for that 5 a.m. low. NQ caught up big time, though. 9:30 should be interesting. So that 2.5 absolutely smacked. -4 is like right at these 5 a.m. lows. If those lows go, along with them being taken by ES, then further targets are going to be probably just other like liquidity levels. Like this is going to be your we've got Asia low like way down here, previous daily low here. That is just insane. Not too bothered by missing it, really. The only thing is it's kind of sure, yes. I'll admit it is a little bit, irks me a little bit that like we have such low volume here and then we start to see some upticks in volume before they open. But you have to make decisions and stand by them. And you can't let the emotions that are a result of your decisions bleed into your actions. So we're going to consider this a win because we stuck to our rules. We stuck to what we said we were going to do. We highlighted that it was a valid setup. I had some cons to go against the idea, and it worked out. So, really, just tells me that I'm kind of seeing things well. Yeah, I agree. Low resistance liquidity or high resistance liquidity breeds low resistance liquidity. Seeing it before the open though, not great. Okay, we got 9:30 open now. Let's mark that up on our. Who took that short? Nice. Hey, it does. So, gonna be looking for. ES's previous daily low is in a shitty spot. It's at 1815 from Sunday. We're just going to stay on the high time from here because there is not a single up close candle in sight. Asia SMT. Yeah. Probably going to be looking for SMT like with these. One of these lows. What a melter though. Tagging that 1800 open. Asia low also taken. I mean, from high time frame perspective, I kind of want to see us get down into this green box here, which is the daily BISI. This is Friday's low. I'd love to see that to then target highs. This also works too if we can see SMT form here with this previous daily low. That'd be okay too. I wouldn't hate it. Thoughts on the M15 AMD setup? Where? You think we already put today's low with that market open sell side liquidity rate? Where's your SMT? Like, YM is heavy, real heavy. YM's below Friday's low. Yes. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not really interested in it. There's nothing here for me to suggest that it goes higher yet. Accumulation from London till now. Manipulate lower. I would say only thing is no S&T yet. Yeah. I mean, you can make a case for AMD at the highs. SMT at the highs, right? SMT with YM. I am ignoring that SMT with YM right now because YM is just so heavy. And so is NQ and so is ES. Right now we are bearish. Let's not go catching knives, calling bottoms before they actually form. Need some proof. One hour breaker. Yeah. Still want to see SMT. The liquidity is more important to me at the moment. ES wants these lows. Looks like it. Yeah, but it's obvious that we formed a relative equal high. Yeah, but you don't have a clock that tells you when it's going to get taken, right? This candle was designed to go lower. This candle has been so far designed to go lower. We have not had a single candle that's designed to go higher yet. We don't even have a breaker. We just got some up close candles. So like now what you're looking for is take this low, form SMT, form a breaker, and then you can think about targeting highs. But right now, like just err on the side of what the current order flow is telling you, and you'll see that it is bearish. Uh, make no mistake, we are bullish. Well, I'm speaking to like high time frame. Look at this, right? That's what I mean. And I said, right? Make no mistake, we are bullish. But if we see SMT and an entry form at these highs, I said I would take it, but I actually chose not to due to lack of volume, right? But this now tells me right now for the short term, yeah, we're bearish. High time frame, we're still bullish, but I think this is just a sell leg to grab some internal to then target later. As to when it's going to get grabbed, I don't know. Or when we're going to go target these relative equal highs, I don't know. Do I think they're going to get taken? Eventually. But I'm not in the business of saying when. I just know when. Um, what to look for to confirm, right? There's no ES SMT. 5 minute? Yeah, you can miss me with that stuff. I'm not interested in that. 15 minute or lower SMT. We need high time from SMT first anyway. Like we're looking for SMT like relative to these lows, guys. I'm not looking for a 5 minute consecutive candle SMT to confirm a buy side run. Agreed, KW. Agreed. 945 could do it too. No, I wouldn't use the 1915 low. That's forcing it. That's absolutely forcing it. You want to see SMT form, like for high probability setups, guys, you want to see SMT form at logical levels. If I'm looking through, if I'm fine tooth combing through 15-minute candles, each of them to look for SMT, I'm forcing it. I like to see SMT form at liquidity, like actual swing point liquidity, or for value gaps. Right now, I'm just not really seeing much. We just formed a 15-minute breaker as well. And we closed through midnight. Like at this point, since we're still bearish, like we could see just a pop to go lower. Yeah. I'm very picky with my SMT. So I mean, and like I say, guys, I always say this. If it works for you, please do it. Don't listen to me. I am not qualified to tell you what's right and what's wrong. I'm just here to display my model in the way that I see price. And if you guys learn something, great. And if you find what you do works better, then more power to you. I mean, there's more than one way to skin a cat in this market. You absolutely do not have to listen to me. What makes trading pre-market valid? Well, while you have a lack of volatility pre-market, and I don't blame you for not taking it how I didn't take the setup, um, the candle still has an open high low close. You can trade whenever, right? And when you have instances like this, I'm gonna go ahead and just tell you that like this trade was like a good trade. And I, by my own volition, chose to not take it, which is my choice, and I sit with that, right? I'm okay with it. When you see pre-market, you see session SMT, you see double SMT, you see consecutive candle SMT with the hourly, you see SMT at session liquidity, you have a visible 9 a.m. candle that is opening high, creating a breaker and flipping. Like you have not just one, but you have one, two, three, like multiple confluences on your side. So like I'm not going to sit here and say if you took this trade you're a gambler. You absolutely could have taken this trade. It gave all of the ingredients for a high probability trade. Not even bullshitting you. And I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, I didn't take it because it was low probability. No, I knew it was probably going to be high probability, but I made the choice, right? Just because I made the choice doesn't mean that if someone else did, it was a bad idea. Yeah, exactly. Highest, about as high probability as you can get. It has so many recipes, right? And that's just trading, right? Do I wish I would have taken it? Yeah, I kind of wish I did take it because obviously it was a winner. But that's not even the part that makes me wish that I took it. It was that I just kind of didn't really fully commit to it, right? And that happens sometimes, right? Our goal is to not just make money in this market, it's to follow our rules to a T. Okay. Now, in terms of hindsight, looking back, I think I had more pros in favor of cons, right? So I probably could have taken this trade for sure. But I'm not going to let the fact that I didn't ruin my day. So Ella, these live streams are not really for me to um, advertise and share my model in every facet. There is a place that I do that, and people pay money for it, and I think I would be doing them wrong if I went out here and spilled everything. I simply just want to come out here, live stream, hold myself accountable, and get the reps in and try out live streaming, right? I'm happy to answer questions, specific questions that people have, but I'm not going to sit here and have this be like a long, drawn out educational stream where I break down every single, nook and cranny of my model. I just won't do that because I am here to trade. Now we're seeing SMT at these lows. You'd like to see 180 to consider long? I'd like to not see this low get taken to consider long. That is, you guys see the amount of volatility that we had after open, right? Much, much better. We have that SMT at the previous daily low. It's not ES's previous daily low. It is NQ's though. I kind of want to see us form a fresh, I kind of want to see us form a cleaner breaker, preferably. Like if we could form one inside of this inefficiency here, form an inefficiency, get a breaker, and then get one. Like this 933, you could argue that 942 is one as well. But at this point, it looks like it's going for these lows. So, bro missed the bus. I still think it can work out though. ES taking that previous daily low, failing to take 930 low at 945. NQ failing to take that previous daily low so far, but it has taken the 930 low. Looks like it's going to take it like it just did. So now we just continue to wait, right? We're not seeing any signs of this thing turning around. So we have to be patient. We have to be vigilant. I really hope that some of you guys ate off of this short. I really do. I really, really do. Thank you guys for tuning in, by the way. I really appreciate it. I did not think that I'd be doing these sorts of numbers on my third stream. I really didn't. So thank you guys. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful move indeed. And that's just trading. Sometimes you miss them. That 925 liquidity injection happens 1 or 2 times a month. 925 is actually kind of goated. Like I think it happens quite often. Happens quite often. I haven't really, but I'm new to it. Somebody pointed it out to me not that long ago. I never really noticed it because I never used to be a pre-market trader. Like I always waited for 9:30. Low of the week, where we could be going to form. Low of the day. I don't know about low of the week. We're intraday traders. Think about that. We're here to get just a piece of the pie. Unless you're a swinger, then by all means, you can start looking for reasons to believe that it's low of the week. But right now, we got a pretty fucking deadly 4 a.m. or 6 a.m. 4-hour candle. So at the very least, I think 10 a.m. is going to sweep it and then potentially go higher. But locked yourself out for today? Did you grab the short? Or what happened? What made you lock out? What are we seeing? I'm gonna mark up that previous daily low because it's in an ugly spot. Because technically we still have SMT at previous daily low. Like if you look on a daily candle, or wait, what am I seeing wrong here? What? 1800 Monday. Day low. Oh, bank holiday. That's why. It's bank holiday, so it doesn't print a daily candle. That's what's going on. So at this point, I think it's just gonna keep dumping. I was like, why is there no Monday daily candle? This daily Bissy honestly looks so good. Yeah, that's what he just said, Chad. Sorry. I guess there's a delay. Good shit, Alex. Took 2 pre-market trades, both W's. Still had a problem identifying the draw, so we thought maybe it'd chop, so you took your W's. Good shit. Consider that a good day. Wonder if we can get ICT in here again. Oh, dude, those who shorted absolutely fried. Absolutely fried. Like off of... Fuck, that's crazy. Sometimes you just don't have the cojones to pull the trigger, and that's okay, but damn. That's a nice move. What do I think is a reasonable average R to R to gain per month? Oh, geez. I don't like R to R. I like percentages. Pretty standard answer. In my opinion, I think 3 to 6% per month is like, if you're 3 to 6% per month, like you are like deemed world class. I think the prop space as well as the Twitter space has grossly over sexualized high percentage months, high ROI. It just doesn't happen on a long-term basis. Like there's some traders absolutely who get more than that. They are anomalies though. I think if you are 3 to 6% per month and you let your capital grow and you consistently execute your edge, which is the most important, I think you're sitting pretty good. You can make life-changing generational wealth with that, with those sorts of numbers. Do I think that you should settle for that if you can do more? No. I think you should do the best you can. But I don't think it's helpful to think about, oh, how much money can I make in a month for me to be content? Because I'm going to be honest with you, it doesn't matter how much you make, you're still going to want more. So you should focus on maybe some more process based things, like how many days can I go executing my edge perfectly? How many trades can I take that follow my model? What's the reproducibility of my model? How many times per day does it present itself, right? Those are the things that matter. Like, how consistently and efficiently can you execute your edge that you have laid out? That's what will yield profits. Money is just a byproduct of that. So, hedge funds are looking at 10% a year. Got, oh, fuck yeah. When you have billions and billions of dollars in capital, you're doing 10% a year. Like, these guys aren't trading. Like, these guys can't sit on a 15-minute and lower chart and execute trades. They just can't. They're not going to get the fills. So they're trading much less, but they're letting the capital do the heavy lifting. Am I in a position? No. Not interested in this whatsoever. Oh yeah, totally. Just scale your accounts and go for base hits. Like, prop firms can be such a high ROI thing if you just know how to play their game. Get all your accounts. This is something I plan to do this year, is get all my accounts, put them into NinjaTrader, get a Replicanto copier, and just trade base hits. What do I use? Right now I'm with Tradeify. I went through a recent little spell of playing a game I like to call Let's Blow My Funded Accounts. So we're fresh on Tradeify. And we've got, fuck, I don't even know. I just opened it last week. 2400. It's one of those straight to sim funded accounts. I don't know if I'm allowed to show the account number, but too late now. What's my thoughts on Top Step? I'm gonna be honest with you. I haven't even read their recent rules. I'm not with them right now. I probably should read their rules. I heard they implemented a bunch, but I mean, Top Step is still Top Step, right? They're like old reliable. So I think you're okay as long as you can follow their rules. As long as like the rules that they have in place are something that you can look at and say, hey, I can make this work. That's what's important, right? People make Apex work. Apex has probably some of the most strict rules around, but people make it work. Yeah, I can see some people like my funded futures as well. Super cheap if you want to use their starter accounts, but you're capped at daily loss limit, so you can't really scale as good. Their expert plans are pretty good, but the evals are a little bit um, higher profit goal, I guess. I don't have an opinion on which prop firm I think is the best. I'm not one to advertise. If it sounds like a dodgy firm, it's probably a dodgy firm. Just stick to the ones that are most reputable. So far, Tradeify's been great. The fills have been good. Then that trading environment itself has been nice. I haven't gotten a payout from them yet, but when I do, I think they're pretty quick with them. They're like under 24 hours. Like best case, you get like within like basically instant. So I don't really have a breaker in here on the 1 minute to suggest that I can get in on this. And we have SMT like technically at the Monday low. Um, this is NQ's Monday low, and then this is ES's Monday low over here. So, all right, this is Monday's previous ES's previous daily low down there. So you technically have it. It's bank holiday liquidity, so it's not like the highest prob. But do I use stat map? I have it on my chart, or I have it on my indicators, but I honestly don't pop it up much. Let's pop it on. I utilize it a lot of the time. You'll see these manipulation levels and distribution levels kind of line up with if they line up with liquidity, it actually works out quite nice. So like you can see here, that 4-hour manipulation for the 6 a.m. candle. Tag that, we formed SMT. Like that is something that's valid, right? So then if you pop on like an hourly, which is when the shift happened, let's see if it's gonna load for me. Slow today. Okay, well, it's not coming up. Let me. Chelsea statistical mapping. Yeah, it's got an attitude problem. But I use those kind of in tandem with logical areas, liquidity levels, fair value gaps, things like that. Just my normal POIs that I use. If they line up with that, it's a boost. It's a boost of confluence, an added confluence. 10 a.m. open. Watching. ES just took the previous 4-hour low. It's about to take previous daily low too. And Q is dumping as well. But like I said, there's no breaker for me here anyway, so we'd have to go form a new one. In terms of future SMTs, I mean, ES is like 10 points off of that daily BISI. Oh, I reset these. This compare tool just fucking sucks sometimes. Yeah, ES is like fairly close to that daily BISI. If we can see SMT inside that, that could be good. That could be good. I'm not, doesn't mean I'm expecting, longs to fry from there, but because it's a daily level, it could take a little bit of time to set up. But if we can form a logical low, either inside the BISI or form SMT at it, to then target the highs, I think that'd be pretty sick. Not gonna lie. You scalped a 5-second breaker. My brain would be mush if I was on the 5-second chart. We hit 1K subs? I didn't even see. Let me look on, can I look on my studio? look at my phone, I suppose. Wicked. 1,000 subs. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you all. That's pretty cool. It's pretty dang cool. Love and appreciation for all of you. Sometimes it works. Yeah, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. That's trading, baby. uh How's everyone doing emotionally seeing this move? There was no entry other than the one up here. I'll tell you how I'm feeling. A little bit peeved. But we're managing it okay. NQ into the 4-hour Bissy. Not interested. Not yet. I need to see some SMT form. Like YM is really kind of out of the question at the moment. Because it just doesn't look correlated, really. Like, it's, yeah. It's not been following suit as much. Your model is market maker buy model, so I'm being patient. I could be more nimble and have taken shorts, but you're not upset. That's good. So yeah, there's this 4-hour Bissy that we just tagged into, right? But there's no SMT to suggest that I need to like perk up at all. If the move happened 5 minutes later at market open, you would have shorted. Fair enough. Fair enough. Sometimes it sets up prior, and that's okay. I don't think there's, in terms of, in terms of criteria, I think it met everything I needed to look for. Just missed it. Gonna have to journal it for sure. I don't think there's a, actually, there probably is a world where if I did take it, I would have milked it because I wouldn't have seen a single breaker form against me. It would have been one of those get out and leave runners, and then the runner would just be cooking. On to the next. Ay, ay, ay. Tired. I gotta go to Costco today. That's gonna be a treat. Costco is a lawless house. It's like the Wild West in there, man. Like, This is the type of short cane catches with this 20 by 20. Yeah, he probably would have. I wonder if he took it. I wonder. I should actually check. He's probably frying right now. Oh, he's long right now. And Q Long's playing. I don't see Longs at the moment. Till we get above here. 10 a.m. open and probably. I don't even see any SMT really. Let me look. Let me just take a quick peek at the low time frames. I really don't see anything of interest. I'm not gonna lie. Don't be a degen. I don't think you're in any position to be given advice, Lee. You just traded the 5 second. But you are right. Don't be a degen. You're a funny guy. Oh man. Done for the day though, Lee. All right, brother. Take care. I don't yeah, I don't really like the long, to be honest with you. I think it just slams back down. That's what I'm saying. Wizardry. That's what I'm saying. Bro's virtue signaling hard. Yeah, dude, there's literally nothing. There's not even an SMT like worth, like worth even sniffing. This is just kind of catching a knife, in my opinion. I think 1030 could be a spot. How many trades do I take per week? How many did I take last week? 6, 7? Typically like 1 to 2 a day is like good for me. But my engagement, my participation varies week by week. This week I might take more. This week it might take less. Who knows? Isn't he playing the 9 a.m. sweep into 10 a.m. open? I have no idea. I'm not watching his stream. I don't know what he's trading. He does do that. But based off where I'm seeing his entry, like he's looking for 25 points. It's not really. I don't think that's really what he's doing. I think he's probably looking a little higher than that. He's probably going to go be E if we close above 10 a.m. open, but I don't know. I don't know. That 9 a.m. show was textbook. I know, bro. I'm kind of mad at myself for not taking it, but I mean, I made a decision. I had to stick with it and sit with it. Did you catch it though? You probably did. You're pretty consistent with your conviction. Something I'm working on. I think it's really the only trade. that cooked today. There's some other ones, but these were just kind of, short-lived. They're valid, but this was this one is where you can like really sink your teeth into it and say, yeah, this is 100% like a valid take. Some good ones, yeah. Yeah, that 7 a.m. was pretty good. No, but nothing like this guy. This guy might haunt me for a couple hours. 10 a.m. open. Let me see that guy. I think that's a 10 a.m. open, yeah. I don't I don't know if I like it, guys. Like I really. Those are gone. Those are gone. Oh, so you actually wanted to take it, but you couldn't because you got pulled away. Fuck, that's even worse, dude. It's even worse. That's an expensive. Hang on. Friday PM session low with ES. uh, yeah, I see what you mean. I see what you mean. That is a. That's a big boy. Big boy breaker. Let's see what these projections do. Man, if this is the breaker for today, fuck. That's a massive. Those are big projections. If you get above that, begin to use this 10 a.m. open as resistance or support, pardon me. Leaving this. It wants to leave that as a breakaway. Doesn't need to. I don't really like calling breakaway gaps, but if it does, leave it. Partially open, just kind of quickly tag it and go higher. Could use that as some confluence. But until we get above here, I can't really be looking long anyhow. I wouldn't mind a fresh breaker, personally. Like a 1030 SMR with some more local SMT. That would be speaking my type of language. If we could see, seeing as NQ failed to take this previous PM session low from Friday, as Tanishu pointed to. Good eye, by the way. If we could see NQ take that low, go higher. Yeah, like just for sake of like local SMT, like recent SMT, I think I'd feel a lot better. But as it stands right now, we have SMT at the 10 a.m. high, and we are forming another breaker. Potentially. Yeah, Dominic, like this up here. Like this is about as in terms of all the criteria met. We'll go over it, but I want to just look at this right now. In terms of like criteria and everything, like this is about like this has everything that you could possibly want or need in a trade. Like if you can just take those, you have a lottery ticket in your hands. See what we're doing at the 10 a.m. open? We go up to it and then we just kind of meander off of it. We got 10 a.m. 10 a.m. high S&T. See, we tagged this 15-minute SIBI. See that SMT? Like this would be like for a quick cut down again. Yeah. That's kind of what I'm looking at. Like if this goes, if this breaker forms, what do these line up with? Could. See if it gives me, while I add it up, let's see if it gives me any sort of good, better retracement. This would be like a quick short scalp. It is kind of in a time, getting close to a time where we can see retracement. I don't typically like entering in this much of discount, but this thing looks so heavy. We have a little bit of time to think about it here. No. I think I'm gonna though. Yeah. I'm willing for that guy. Make sure that's actually the micro. Yeah. Make sure I'm not cooked. So I want to see this breaker kind of hold its resistance. We have SMT at this 10 a.m. high here. This is also a 15-minute SIBI. I want to kind of see us, melt through this low and then start to target some lower prices. Looking at 2.5 for first partial. What price point is that at? That's the January high right there that we did. So I'm probably just gonna go right there. Probably gonna cut 4 off there. About 2R. Go look at the 15-minute chart, Chad. You'll see that we tagged a 15-minute SIBI while ES failed too. That's your SMT. This is just like a quick continuation setup. Now, possible trouble that you can run into to keep in mind, right, is if we go and form SMT at this low. Let me get rid of that. If we go and form SMT at this low here, is it paper? No. Then we'd want to be looking for a fresh breaker. That would be kind of going against our idea, but I think this so far looks good. The only invalidation is the high that we have our stop at. No, guys, it's not paper. You can see trade of 8 right here. It's kind of in a pretty big discount, but I like the setup. It checks the boxes, and I'm not going to skip 2 setups in a row. I want to see this get some legs. Lower though, for sure. It can come up here and engage with these inefficiencies. It can come up there for sure. What it can't do is trade above this high. That's it. That's about it. Now we just sit and wait, gang. I'm gonna go use the washroom quick. Let this just kind of sit. All right, I'm back. This has got to do something fairly quick. This is kind of giving me vibes of stall till 10:30, form SMT locally, and then go higher. Doesn't mean I'm going to cut it right here. It just means that I might have some issues later that I'll have to manage. But we're chilling. We're chilling. Tapped into the inversion. Yeah. Sure did. Like a tick. That's nice. I like seeing that. Just needs to fall out. No news day, so you expected this type of PA. What do you mean? What's wrong with this PA? This was fucking massive. It's a really good leg down. Would I go BE if we end up having an SMT at these lows? No. If we go ahead and form SMT at these lows, I'm going to hold it until we form a breaker. That would be my model forming against me. So if we go and we form SMT at these lows, like take these and ES doesn't, then I would just wait for a breaker to form against me. I wouldn't get out early. The only way I'd get out of a short is if it hits my take profit areas or if my model forms against me. And I can't really say that my model is forming against me until it forms a breaker, you know? Got you some oats. Make sure you check out. Make sure you watch for those glyphosates, though. Gary Brecka was in here earlier telling us to watch her. He is right, though. He is right in a way. Glyphosates are not great for you. I have to do more research on them to actually know what I'm talking about, but. Okay, ES, as it stands, right? ES has not taken this low. I'm not worried. that it won't. I think it's going to. Eat oats like once a year. I mean, you can get specific oats, I think, that are better for you, but I like oats. I like them a lot. Just tuned in. No trades today for you. This is Errol. Hey, Errol. How's it going, buddy? How was Kane's stream? You like the short in the same one. Took a partial here personally. Sweet. Good shit. We're eating right now. We're definitely eating. I want to see ES take that low. Please. Kane fucks you up with his fast trades. Well, you don't have to copy him. It's encouraged not to copy him. Came to Brady get my account up. Oh, you're not in the lab anymore, Errol? Weren't you just in there? He is still not taking that low. We closed through this low though with some pretty good gusto. So I think I'd wanna see us just kind of utilize this and drop lower. Just thought, okay, might get some quick profits though. Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. You don't learn anything though by following others. Like it's best like the live streams have so much value, but like you have to follow, just listen to what they're saying and like what they say and how price action um you know moves off of that, or like what price action does and how they read it. That's where the real lessons come in. Like if you start trading alongside like whoever's thoughts and like start taking their trades, like you're not going to learn anything. Like if you take a trade, if I for example take this, have this short and you go short with me and it's a loss, you won't learn as much, right? But if you take it off of your own volition with your own idea, you're going to learn a lot more, right? Because you were responsible for like the inception of the idea all the way through to the result. So you learn the most by taking your own trades. I think though, like listening to these live streams, whether it's me or Kane or whatever, like not that like my live streams are anything fucking groundbreaking, but I think there's things to be learned, and it's mainly in like how you manage, how we manage ourselves. Like Kane is really good at managing his emotions and managing his um, executing his plan and his edge like with just like such high conviction. That's his superpower, right? So just being able to see that is like so good. Okay, I want ES to take this fucking low. It's looking like it doesn't want to. Sorry guys, I'm not reading the chat right now. I'm really looking at this. That's annoying. I want to see this just drop. Peek at YM. YM's off doing its own shit right now. I got YM on my chart. I'm not interested in YM. If we close above this high though, I'm probably gonna have to get out. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's like an ugly, ugly breaker, but not one that I'd really take long. this. This is just telling me that it's A, gonna retrace higher, or it's just fucking around here. So this is an ugly breaker, okay? Swing low, swing high, lower swing low. We've traded above this high. We have SMT with the S at this high time frame level at the previous Friday PM session, low, as well as consecutive. That's like technically my model forming against me, despite it being like a very, very ugly breaker. I'm not sitting through that, okay? If this goes and delivers to my target, that's fine. Made like a fucking like change off of that. It's not a big deal. It's just I have to stick to the plan and follow my rules. Take a Okay, let me read the chat again because I missed a bunch of. Edison, thank you so much for that SMT video. I was in the NQ short from 927 to like 946. I've been seeing nonstop setups since then, and I'm getting better at choosing them. Fucking rights, Edison. Good job, man. Proud of you. You just wanted to try it out, Errol. Okay, fair enough. I am not going to suggest you a broker. The mysterious stranger, I'm sorry. Yeah, let's try to not recommend brokers. I just don't really think it's necessary. People should do their own research. Most of it is the attitude and calmness. Yeah, it's a big thing. Small win is better than no win and def better than a loss. I agree, but see, this is where the logic gets broken, okay? None of the result, this doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. That could be 2000, that could be minus 500. I don't care. What matters is I entered my model here or over here, and I got out here because my model is forming against me. That is it, right? Nothing else matters. The outcome is irrelevant, completely irrelevant. Do you think we will have a reversal in the PM session? I don't know. My crystal ball is in the shop being fixed right now. How do I feel about macros? I like them. Macros make sense to me, especially seeing as I focus so much on open, low, high, close. Because if you think about it, right? Open, low, high, close, or rather macros, the main macros, are going to be between XX50 and XX10. What is so significant about this? Well, it's the changeover from an old hour to a new hour, right? So you're essentially witnessing the changeover from an old hour to a new hour. So you're seeing, for example, let's say this is 8 a.m. and it's bearish, right? 8 a.m. and it's bearish. We're looking for buys. We have a high time frame POI down here. Okay. This 8 a.m. candle closes. 9 a.m. opens. The first 10 minutes tags into that POI and then flips bullish. Tagging that POI, right? And then you can have a 10 a.m. continuation with like a 10 a.m. open, low, high, close continuation setup, right? So that's why macros are so good, right? They make sense because they are part of a high time frame open, low, high, close, right? That's where you can see new reversals form, continuations form, things like that. You can see an injection of liquidity because no one's going to be longing this because this candle was designed to go lower. But we can start to see breaker setups form, up close candles closing, finishing that 8 a.m. candle, and then 9 a.m. can stab lower, be a candle that's designed to go higher in that it opens low first, and then we get the confirmation of the breaker. You flip the opening price, and you're going to see your breaker setup form in here. Okay. So don't just think about macros as like, oh, it's a special time window. It's an algorithmically driven window. It sure, maybe. I don't have a computer science degree to confirm or deny that. Um, it's just a changeover, right, between hourly candles. Um, why does ICT speak about the 950 to 1010 macro being such high probability? Because it's not just an hourly candle switching, it's a 4 hour candle switching too. So it's a high time frame candle. Thus, it's going to have higher time frame importance. Okay. So don't blindly trade macros. Trade them with some logic, please. Breaker block you like better than inversion? Yeah, a breaker block is like the highest probability. Markets don't reverse without breaker blocks. They don't reverse without this. I will argue with people until I'm blue in the face. You sure, V-shaped reversals, be my guest. There's going to be a breaker there on some fractal basis. And then they'll say, well, the change in the state of delivery is the formation of the order block. Sure, this could be a 5-minute order block. But if you go down to the 1 minute, it's a 1 minute breaker. So really, fractal nature of price wins. Is the unicorn your main model? No. The unicorn, I don't trade like a unicorn. I just trade breakers. Unicorn is like a type, right? In that we have a breaker and then we have a fair value gap trading through the breaker. Yeah, absolutely. It adds probability. Why? Because we have our breaker, but we also have a fair value gap forming in between it, right? Which is suggesting to me that there's displacement and it's strong. But I don't need a fair value gap to trade through a breaker for it to be valid. I have a couple entry models. Y'all motherfuckers better listen. Tenny knows what I'm talking about. Breaker's Def caught my eye as opposed to all the other models because I noticed that breakers always form before stopping me out of my first buys. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. uh, you'll often see online, this was trending like a year ago, but um, there's an order of operations, as they say, right? Or a set of internal dynamics that the market goes through on any fractal basis um, to determine reversals. So what are they, right? So for reversals, to happen, they usually happen in this order, okay? And this order is from low probability to highest probability, okay? Number one, the first thing that happens in order for a market reversal to happen is a turtle soup, okay? After that turtle soup, you're going to have an order block, okay? The order block is going to be responsible for purging the liquidity. Thus, the turtle soup. The order block forms the turtle soup, okay? Because a valid order block is a candle that takes liquidity. A good order block is a candle that takes high time frame liquidity and engages with a high time frame key level. Yeah? Lastly, you're going to have a breaker or OTE. They don't have to be both. It can be one or the other. So from perspective of lowest probability to highest, you have turtle soup, lowest probability, order block, second highest probability, and then you have a breaker, highest probability. Why? The turtle soup isn't formed unless an order block is present. The order block isn't formed unless the breaker is present. Thus, it all starts with the breaker, okay? So let's draw what this looks like. Here I am saying earlier that I'm not going to get into like an educational lesson. This is your high time frame POI, okay? Let's say that it's like a previous daily low. Cool? It's a previous daily low. We're witnessing on like a 5-minute, okay? What we're going to see is we're going to see a swing low form. Then we're going to see a swing high. Then we're going to see a lower swing low, right? And then if it reverses, we will see a higher high, closing above the breaker, or this swing high, okay? This swing point here is the formation of the breaker block. Yeah? The formation of this order block, or breaker block, is what forms the down leg, which is going to be your order block. Okay? Let's put that in gray. Tuck that behind. That's going to be your order block. That order block takes liquidity in the form of the previous daily low. That is your turtle soup. Okay? One cannot happen without the other, and the breaker starts it all. Cool. That's all. Most of the time, there's a fair value gap inside of a breaker. Sure. I don't have numbers on that to suggest otherwise. The ones that work will have inefficiencies. Where's your data to suggest that it always has a fair value gap? Yeah, OTE is kind of it's on like a, as, I guess, what's the word? What's the best way I could describe this? It's kind of on like a basis of like what the actual PA is telling you, right? If you have, your setup form and you have your breaker form and you don't go to OTE, there's a chance that all of these, any inefficiency down here already is balanced, right? You're going to see those OTEs if there's some sort of imbalance down here that hasn't been tagged yet, okay? So OTE is kind of on like a as if then statement type basis. Yeah. So, but the breaker is always going to be there. The breaker is old reliable, right? So far, in terms of my old entry, it would have gotten to BE and we would be trading lower. I'm not mad about getting out here, by the way. I'm just Gonna see if it does want to get lower. This was a low probability breaker. So like it's enough for me to want to close because we had a lot of criteria there, and seeing this breaker form. And if we did go up and form this breaker, I probably would have been long. But just because I got out on the breaker doesn't mean I'm going to get in on another setup, right? It's just, I have reason to believe that this is a Judas to go higher. It's just, and it showed me a sign of it potentially working out. So following the rules. ES is getting higher. YM is cooking higher. And quite honestly, guys, it's almost 11 o'clock. Like this looks like it's enough for the AM session. So, not like particularly, you know, clinging on to the idea that there's going to be another clean setup. What I can see is potentially us form a breaker at the 1050 macro. Something like that, but not as messy. Something like that would be nice. Show an example of the breaker in the chart, please, with the turtle soup. Okay. We formed SMT. This is the London high, yeah? Or not the London high, pardon me, the overnight high, or high a day. Or it is the London high. Yes, I'm tripping. That was yesterday's high. That wasn't London high. That's your POI of interest. We formed SMT at it, okay? This is the previous hourly high. Now, let's just start here. We have a new hour open. We open up 9 a.m. and we begin forming an accumulation. Okay. Now at this point in time, we have SMT at London high. Okay. Go back in your chart and look at it. I don't think it'll let me go. No. So this is your turtle soup up into, you could say any of these highs. This 8 a.m. high, this high, right? It's really above this high, this 8 a.m. high. We form what? Swing high, swing low, higher swing high. Breaker down here. You could use quite literally any of these, but let's just take the swing. Take this first candle. You could even take this lower candle. The breaker sets up the candles that take the liquidity. The last up close candles that take liquidity, 1, 2, 3, order block. You could say that this is your OB. Consecutive up close candles that take liquidity. Right? You could use these guys up here too, but we're just going to use these because they line up with the 9 a.m. open. So you have your turtle soup already. We form the order block, trading through the bodies. You could also say that this was the order block here. And then we form the breaker. So the breaker forms the turtle soup and the order block, or the breaker forms the order block that takes the liquidity that forms the turtle soup. The turtle soup gets confirmed when we get the change in state of delivery, right? which is the order block formation, and then we get the breaker. So it's the first thing to cause the move, and it's the last thing that you want to see before you get true confirmation of a change in the state of delivery. And then what happens when we form that breaker? Then price can spool. Go look at every market reversal, find a breaker, find an order block, find the turtle soup, and you'll see what I mean. I know you don't take trades at an opposing for value gap. Not always. It's just a criteria to kind of hang on here. Sorry. Is this about to cook? It might. Let's even take these. I was a little bit late to see that. I was explaining something. It's kind of like a fractal breaker, but it's also forming SMT. 1050 macro is trading higher. The breaker is forming SMT though. Not totally interested. YM is cooking. I don't care about YM. Colorado, I just don't care about YM. It's worrisome that we're seeing ES already form SMT. I can see us get up into premium though. I don't want to enter up here though. I want it to get down here just for sake of risk. Let's mark that, get that 10 AM open up here. If it doesn't get back down here, it's going to miss me, and that's fine. I don't really see a breaker in this expansion leg confirming the breaker to suggest that it's going to go lower from here unless it forms a new one like so, which in that case I would have been in and I'd be getting out probably break even. Three-minute TLM. Yeah, I can see that. Isn't the breaker at 1023, 1024? Yeah, but this is also a breaker. It's just a fractal one. It's not responsible for engaging with this high time frame liquidity, but it's a breaker nested within this, right? That took this liquidity here. Come on. So you can enter early off of that. I missed it when it tagged here, and I'm not going to chase it. So if we get like a tag into this, I'd be interested. ES is pumping right now. Oof. Let's add it up just to see. A little more. I'm being picky with this one because I don't love the criteria for it. Like, I don't like that it went to form that SMT. I might get a decent entry. Might get a more discount entry. No buttons pushed. This is really one of those ones that, like, I have this conflicting criteria of us trading above this 30-minute high here, forming SMT with ES. So, like, nothing's saying that, like, we can't open up at 11, form a breaker, and then get a drop lower. Yeah, no. Just grading the setup, that's all. Here's 11 o'clock. Now I kind of want to see, like, if 11 o'clock wants to open low, get like a high close, that'd be swell. But I'm really allowing a little bit of time to play out before I, jump into anything. You got in. Does it touch that fair value gap? Fair enough, yeah. Nothing wrong with it. Absolutely nothing wrong with that, with taking that entry. I'm just being a little cautious because I've got some conflicting criteria, that's all. Didn't give you an entry either, not going to chase it. That's fair. Did not get what the conflicting criteria is. This breaker that formed also formed SMT with the S inside of a 30 minutes. That'd be above the 10 a.m. high. That tells me that there's a little bit of conflicting criteria. That's all. We have a nice SMT here. The consecutive candle. No, I'm not in long. You can see there's no position open on my chart. I just said, what conflicting criteria did you have? I just said it. We have SMT inside of this 30-minute civvy. And I wanted to see a deeper cut. That's all. Now that we've confirmed this breaker here, looks a little high up for me. So like my risk, 62 points. And like this 1050 looks like a retracement. I don't know if this is low a day. So in terms of thinking, fucking MacBook has trading view open. In terms of, you know, and I'm not a big R to R guy, but like I'm not gonna enter up here in here like 50 points to get where I think we can go, which is like, you know, less than 1.5 R. Like it's just not my type of setup. I realize I'm being very picky, but if I don't love the move, I don't love the move. Oops. Yeah, it's a breaker. Still takes liquidity. It's not like a so the way that this breaker is a valid breaker is it still forms a swing high, swing low, like swing low, swing high, lower swing low, higher swing high, taking this liquidity, right? It doesn't take this low. It doesn't need to be confirmed as a breaker, but it still takes a swing low. The real breaker is going to be this guy, because this is the swing low, swing high, lower swing low, right? We still have that SMT inside of that civvy. And like if this breaker forms here, then we can likely anticipate that it's going to trade into these lows. This is a 5-minute BISI though. So keep that in mind because it can just kind of come down in here. Sweep it. Get it higher. Not expecting much more. Look at the stream. Thanks, brother. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah. It's looking like it's just in retrace mode, honestly. I don't know if I really like the reversal. We have that daily BISI down there. It just looks oh so nice. I'm just missing a bunch of candles over here. Strange. I went to see old data, and from what you gathered, which is like 30 weeks. Tuesday usually makes a higher low of day in the PM session. I could I could probably tell you right now if that's right or wrong. Ranges. Let me see. NQ. Low of day. Day of week. Figure out how I can. In the PM session. Okay, I went to see old data, and from what I gathered, which is like 30 weeks, Tuesday usually makes a high or low of day in the PM session. I've got between 9 and 11 has like almost a 20% chance. It has the majority of the data for high or low a day. 3 p.m. is kind of up there as well, but it's hard to say based off of data that I have personally. So for the let's use relative, past 5 years, the median low of day is 1056. The median high of day is 1058. You have a problem with your trading in almost ICT strategy, but still you can't be profitable. Any advice? Keep studying. And don't implement too much. Keep it simple. Like if you know most ICT strategies, you know too much. Find what works for you. Simplify it, build a model, and just commit to one model and back test it. If we made the low at 10 a.m., the hour the other end, which is the high, maybe in the PM session. Well, that would be suggesting that we go and take high of day, which I'm not saying is out of the cards. But right now, low of day has formed at the 10 o'clock hour, not the PM, right? Possibilities for PM session. Ugh. Get above here. It'll either be we retrace coming into lunch, and you get like some sort of SMT form, and then you get a breaker to go back to the lows, or we expand, and then we get a lunch retracement to then see a PM continuation. Right now, it looks bearish, and this is a retracement, but I didn't answer on how to build a rule-based model. Well, kind of a loaded question. Building a rule-based model essentially just starts from step one. Like, what do you need to identify, right? What high time frame POIs you want to use. I'm not going to type all this out. What high time frame POIs do you want to use? What do you find works best? What entry model do you resonate with most? Do you have any specific data on what days work best or don't work best for you? Like, just take a model. Like, there's so many models out there. You could um you could take the 2022 model, back test it, and see if it has edge. I mean, it should have edge. You could take um ICT's like 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. silver bullet model. See if that has edge. Just get in the charts and backtest stuff. Building a model, right, comes with time, right? You're going to find things that work. I didn't just like one day wake up and just say, I want to trade breakers. No, it took time and it took nurturing and care, right, to come to the conclusion that trading breakers and utilizing liquidity and inefficiencies as my POIs, having specific criteria, like it takes time to get all those things into place. So I can't just like give you a step by step how to build a model. It's try shit. You're not just gonna stumble upon one model and it's just gonna be all you ever need ever. Like, you're gonna make refinements, you're gonna have failures, you're gonna find what works, what doesn't, right? So there's no perfect step one, right? It's just start with what you know right now. If you say you're decent at reading price, then take things that work for you and put them into a model. What I can tell you is you need certain things, okay? You need, first and foremost, you need to know what makes you emotional, right? You need to know your crutch. Is it losing? Do you hate losing? And then you get put into a tilt state? Do you hate missing trades and you chase price? Do you not know when to call it good or like call it enough? And it leads to over trading. How do you do in consolidations? How do you do in trending environments? How do you identify certain phases of delivery of price? What times do you typically do well? All these things, right? What makes you emotional? Create rules around that. Okay, well, let's say you find that you do really bad after losses. Okay, one loss and you're done for the day. There's a rule. You just put that into your model. You find, oh, I tend to chase price if my entry doesn't, if I don't get my entry. Okay, well, build criteria around a little more leniency around your entry model. For me, I hate missing entries too. So I have like a close proximity entry style where like if it's within a certain amount of points of my entry, I'll just enter because I don't care. Because I'd rather be in than miss the move. Or you don't know when to call it good. Have a specific amount of trades that you can take within a day, right? So you need to know all these things. You need to know yourself, right? Because the only model that's going to work for you is one that you can stick to and one that is kind of like tailored for you. So that's step one, okay? Now you need a way to determine higher time frame direction, right? Or how you determine higher time frame draw on liquidity, right? So do you work best with just like, oh, high time frame internal to external? You want to feast off of this specific leg of price action, longing this to external range liquidity. Great. Backtest that. Look for entry models inside of here, inside of this for value gap. Do you want to have a model for consolidations where price is doing a whole lot of this? And you want to capture shorts and longs just at the range highs and range lows, right? How do you determine your high time frame direction? Usually it starts with being able to identify what the current price delivery is, right? If you're trending, meaning we're making higher highs and higher lows, price is going to be in a dynamic or in a mechanic where it's going to seek external range liquidity and then seek internal range liquidity. Seek external range liquidity, seek internal range liquidity. You can make a bag off of that, but you have to know that it's happening. Moreover, right, price can be, like I said, in a consolidation where you are not going to be trading from external to internal. You're going to be trading from range high to range low. Okay. Next, you need environment selection and recognition. You have to have criteria around what makes the market high probability or low probability, okay? So let's say, for example, you do really bad when you have a choppy market, a consolidating market. Have a rule in place that if you see that, you don't trade. Okay? Things like that. Or maybe you don't do well the morning of FOMC, or maybe you don't do well the day before NFP. These are all things that you'll find when you backtest. Next, how do you confirm your, I guess, reversals or your entries, I guess? Have confirming criteria for your entries. For me, I have like 5 keys of confirmation that I utilize. So like things like SMT, breakers, right? Displacement, all those things. How do you confirm your entries? Just build all these things. Start with emotions, because if you're not in the proper emotional state, you're not going to trade well. So you need to have in your chart, I recommend you make a flow chart, just like step by step criteria that gets you all the way to your executing a trade, to your result, whether you made money, lost money, whatever. And then your journal, where you write down all your thoughts and your emotions, etc. Step by step by step by step. You're essentially building an algorithm for yourself. And it all starts with asking yourself one question. How am I feeling right now? Am I in an optimal state to risk capital? Okay. Start there. And if you don't want to do all that, pay someone or join a Discord and get their model. There's plenty of resources out there. ICT has tons of models. Just pick one and backtest it, right? Like I could give someone my model and they will not make money with it for months because they don't understand it. That's what backtesting is, not just for finding data, right? It's for getting the reps in, training your eye to see it, finding those little refinements, all those little things. Hope that helps. It's a very hard question to answer. And it's kind of I know it sounds like kind of a cop out when I say spend more time on the charts, but I mean it. Just time, and commit yourself to finding a model. Because if you're trading right now and you don't have a strat, I'm sorry, but you're gambling. And I can say that because I was you. I used to trade discretionally because I thought that I could just do it on my own without a model, without rules. I thought I could control um, and deal with my any like emotions and just kind of, oh, this looks good, I'll take this, or oh, this doesn't look good, I'll take this. And that there's no order with that, right? There's nothing that I can extrapolate from that experience, right? So you need rules. You need a rule-based strategy. Tell you when to get in, tell you when to get out, tell you when to avoid entering, all those things. You have the answers, yet you just didn't build it. Okay, well, just put the time in to build it. You do know what you're doing. You just, and don't take this the wrong way, you do know what you're doing. You're just too lazy to do it. You know the answer. You know you just have to do the damn thing. And I mean that in the most respectful way possible. And I speak from like the utmost amount of sympathy and empathy because I was there. I spent a lot of time without a model and it fucking sucked. So just start. As you can see, I'm kind of just disconnected from the chart at the moment. This looks like this low is going to go. Let's read it though. Right, so this is kind of exactly what I was worried about. I didn't love this one. It's a breaker that didn't really engage with the liquidity. Sure, I could have taken this breaker, but the breaker formed with SMT at these highs. That SMT has been deleted. But we do have SMT at these highs now. Let me get rid of all this fucking shit. We do have SMT at these highs now with ES. Yeah, 945 highs. From there, what have we had? Let's use this guy. Breaker, right? One hour Sibi SMT with YM, I assume is what you're looking at. I see the 15-minute SMT for sure. Looks good. The 1 hour SMT is with YM. Closed your long after the breaker block formed, after this guy. Yeah. Not a bad idea. You see an SMT with ES as well. Yeah, not on the hourly. There's no SMT on the hourly with ES that I see, unless I'm fucking cooked. This is the 9 this is the 10 a.m. high. ES and NQ both took it. YM did not. Thus the SMT on the hourly is with YM. But on the 15-minute, it's with ES here, inside of this inefficiency. This 945 high. Let's see. NQ failed to reach it. Yes, NQ did tap it. You can literally see on my chart. It tapped it. Oh, you see it on MNQ. Don't pay attention to MNQ, please. Use the NQ chart. That's another thing, guys. This MNQ gives a lot of false reads. Stick to this. This is why I have the NQ on my main chart and then I execute on like a little sidebar on MNQ. So it allows me to risk properly. But the main chart is NQ and it's going to tell you everything you need to know. Do not use the MNQ chart for analysis. Never knew that? Well, now you know. Personal preference. But you're trading MNQ because you don't have the margin to trade NQ. If you could trade NQ, you would. NQ is the main chart. It's got more volume, right? It's going to be a little bit, it's going to be the most accurate representation. See that 5-minute BISI? We tagged it. Now we're ripping from it. No confirmation entry on this anyhow. Till we get above here. Closure above the bearish breaker would indicate it may price higher. Closing above this high for me would suggest it's going to trade higher. I'll tell you what though, guys. Viewers are dropping off. It's 11:30. I'm probably going to wait till after lunch anyway to take any trades. I got to go to Costco anyhow, so I'm probably going to cut it here. Pretty much just this. Short inside here, inside of this breaker, anticipating lower we get pretty quick criteria to suggest that we have to get out, right? This is my model forming against me. Didn't take this because I had criteria and I'm being extra choosy today. Seems to be working out. And this short, if I was in it, it would probably be ending up in a loss. So we're up like, it's like $240 today. Like nothing crazy. There's lots of week left. More than happy to call it here for the morning. NASDAQ micros actually trade more volume than both NQ mini and ES mini the past several months. But you do watch the NQ chart though, like I said. Okay, so you're disagreeing with me, but you're agreeing with me. Let's look at the CME data. I can figure my way out around this. I'm not disagreeing with you, I just want to look at it. I know that the NQ chart is the leader. It's the one that actually shows true. Yeah, more volume maybe in terms of contract, because the volume is considered in contract, right? So it's 1,000,005. 1 point, we'll just say 1 mil. Then if you go to NQ, excuse me. Oh, excuse me. NQ volume is 433. Thank you, Kamenko. 433K, right? That's contract volume. So it's 10 times more. So really, in terms of dollar value, it's 4 times more. Or 2 times more. 433,000. I'm pretty sure it's in contract volume. Somebody knows better, please say so. But 433,000 contracts times $20 per contract. 8.6 mil. And then 1 million times 2. 2 million. So, yeah. Long story short, follow the NQ. Thank you, Bull. Just follow NQ. Okay, guys. I really want to thank you guys for being here. It was actually a lot of fun this stream. Recap. Faded this short. Gonna go in my journal a little bit as to why. Probably just not ready. Not in a state of mind where I felt great about it. It just didn't feel like an absolute slap to me. I'll journal to myself about it as to why, because it was a valid setup. It happens. Took short here, deep in discount, quickly shown that I needed to get out. So really just one trade. You could see the execution. I took it in front of you guys. There's no paper trading here. I'm not hiding anything. It's really just me trading. We're getting better at the whole live streaming thing. Yeah, I want to thank you guys for participating today. Thank you guys for being patient with me as I, go through all my charts and everything. Thanks for sticking around. And for any of you that liked the video, subscribed, whatever, I appreciate you. Thank you for being here. We're going to be streaming again tomorrow. So make sure to tune into that if you want. If you don't, I don't really care. I'm just here to trade and have fun. So, yeah, I will end it here, guys. I hope you guys enjoy your day, and we will speak to you soon. Have a good day, y'all.